All right. Good afternoon, 602.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon.
Oh, look, you got a greeting by the children. You see? Say bye-bye, Selena. Okay, so we're going to be talking about absolute value today. And if you recall yesterday, we did a lesson on absolute value. And you're probably saying, wow, why is this lady doing this again? The reason why we're doing this again is I'm gonna be very straightforward with all of you, so I need you all to be attentive, all right? I understand I have some noise where I am too with my trainer leaving and my mom and Selena barking, but we're gonna be reviewing the lesson again because based on the data yesterday of the independent practice and exit ticket 602, half of you didn't even submit the work, it's all missing. Some of you submitted it on time, so thank you, and others submitted the work late. I'm really concerned. Can someone tell me what time is work due? Yes. 4:15. So does that mean, Alan, if you submit the work at 4:16, do we accept it? No. It's late. It goes in the trash can, right? You don't get a grade. It goes in as a 0 in the grade book, okay? Because I'm going to be honest. You think it's funny. There's some people in here that have zeros because they're not turning the work in on time. So please make sure you turn that work in on time today. Okay, also there will not be office hours today because, oh, look at your dog. I have a meeting at 2 o'clock, then I have a meeting at 3, and then I have a meeting with Mr. Haas. By the way, some feedback from yesterday. Mr. Haas said that this class did such an amazing job yesterday when he came in and he kind of did like a little observation. He'll be coming in very frequently, once to twice a week, and he'll be just observing you guys, see what's going on, observing Mr. R and I. So just, you know, give us feedback. We give you feedback based on what he says. So just keep up the good work from yesterday. Okay, let's get started with today's lesson. I'm gonna, do we need to see the video again on absolute value or we're good? Do we get right to the work? All right, let's get right to the work. All right, here we go. Let me go and post on Google Classroom. Let me go pull up the work. And if we get through this lesson real quick, you guys will be the first class that will be able to start their exit ticket. Stop it, young lady. That will be able to get through the work. All right, so the video is there. Most of you already watched it while we were waiting. So I'm just gonna put up today's classwork. Okay, so here we go. Today's classwork is we are going to be dealing with absolute value again, being able to determine the absolute value of numbers. Okay, remembering that absolute value is positive. It measures the distance a number is from 0 on a number line. So if somebody gives me negative absolute values, I'm gonna have a problem. All right, so that is today's learning target, is determining and finding the absolute value of numbers. Here we go. Integers. Integers are positive and negative whole numbers that include 0. Next, positive integers are greater than 0. They are to the right of the number line. Little review. They'll be written as like 8 or plus 8, which means the same exact thing. Negative integers are less than 0. They're to the left of the number line, and they always have a negative sign, like -2. So please don't read it as -2, it's -2. An absolute value is the distance a number is from 0, and the symbol is the bracket. So we read that as the absolute value of 8 is 8. Why? Because the absolute value of 8 is 8, because 8, right, is 8 units away from 0. Okay, here's just another recap that if I want to find the absolute value of 4, right, I'm going to go to 4. I'm going to count how far is 0 from 4. It's 4 units. And what's the absolute value of -4? It's 4 units away. So as you can see, whether it's a negative absolute value, it's always going to be a positive answer. Now, let's look at number 1. I'm going to have Shaylin. I'm just going to kind of go across my screen. So Shaylin, I'm going to ask for you to read problem 1 for me. Let's get this party started. 602 brings the energy every day. So let's do it. That's right. Let's go. Shaylin.
Okay.
Here we go. It says here.
The number line below. Plot. I can't see what is that.
So plot -1 and 1, right?
Okay.
Now help me out. How far is -1 from 0, Shaylin?
1.
1. 1 what?
1.
The distance from -1 to 0 is 1 unit away, right? Talk to me about how far is 1 from 0? The distance from 1 to 0 is?
1 unit.
Is 1 unit away. Now, we have to do one more thing. And that last step is we want to know, okay, we want to know, let me go get a drawing shape here. Here we go. We want to know how far is -1 from +1, Shaylin. So, and the rest of you guys, we're going to start at -1 and count. 1,
2.
2. So the distance,
2.
right, so we're going to write the total distance is 2 units from 0. Does that make sense, folks? Right? It's 2 units. Even if I go from 1 to -1, I go 1, 2, I'm still 2 units away, whether I go to the positive or the negative. Why? Because opposites have the same absolute value. Make sense? And you better write that down on your paper somewhere. Opposites have the same absolute value. You need to know that. Opposites have the same absolute value. Okay, so now I'm going to delete this part here because I want to be able to do the bottom part. I want to be able to do letter C with you. So Arlenis, beautiful Arlenis, we want to order these numbers from least to greatest. So least, oops, oh man, oof, least, and then this would be the left side, and then on the right, on the greatest, is on the right side. Yeah? So Arlenis, we read this as absolute value of 7, right? The little brackets, we read it as absolute value of 7. We have -4, we have 0, we have absolute value of 6, and we have the absolute value of -2. So clearly I'm going to be able to plot all these integers except 2 of them because my number line doesn't go up to 6 or 7, but I'm sure we could figure it out because we're pretty smart. So we are going to go, this is 4 here. I'm going to go graph 0 on the number line. I'm going to go graph -2 on my number line. And then I'm going to put a circle here, and then I'm going to put another circle here. Okay, where that blue dot is, if you see that. Maybe I'll be able to put it in green. Let me see. All right, here we go, in green. So the green is 6 and the blue is 7. So Arlenis, help me out. I want to order them from least to greatest, starting from the left all the way going to the right of my number line. Can you help me out? What would I write?
-4.
Good.
-2.
Mm-hmm.
0.
Yep.
The absolute value of 6.
Good. And?
And the absolute value of 7.
Oh my goodness. You were the first student in all the classes that actually read the absolute value properly because all the other students were just saying 6 or 7. Thank you for doing that. I hope you heard what she said. The absolute value of 6 is 6, and the absolute value of 7 is 7. All right, let's move on. I think you had enough of me now. Right? You're probably saying no. All right, here we go. All right, number 2. Cynthia, you're up. So I'm going to read the directions. We're graphing the integers and finding the values, all right? So Cynthia, I'm going to show you where these numbers are on the number line. And I got a question for you, Cynthia. Cynthia, if you have 1/4, how much money do you have? How much is 1/4, Cynthia? I did, Cynthia, get your work. How much is 1/4, Cynthia? Can you unmute? I guess not. Okay, Lorena, how much is 1/4, Lorena?
$0.75.
1/4 is 75 or 25?
25.
Right. So Lorena, because I think Cynthia's having technical difficulties. Now, Lorena, I want to know 1/4. It's -1/4. So is that going to be on the positive side or is that going to be on the negative side?
Negative.
Right. So what 2 integers will that number fall in between?
0.
and what other number? 0 and, I'm going to show you, between 0 and -1. So it's going to be about here, right? Because 25 is a little bit more than, it's a little past 0, but it's not close to -1 yet, right? Because it's 0.25 and this is 1, -1. So now we're going to find the absolute value of these numbers, Lorena, which means we're counting the distance. So if you look at -1, which is in the blue circle, and you look at 0, which is going to be in the purple circle. Oh, why is it not letting me put a circle? Oh boy, here we go. How far is 0 from -1, Lorena? So,
-1.
okay, let's look. Let's not guess, let's look. I want to know -1 is here. How far is it until 0? How many hops is that?
1.
1. So the absolute value would be 1. What is the absolute value of -1/4 if it's a positive number? Positive 1/4, yeah? You try this one. The absolute value of 4. So let's look at it in black, all right? We're at 0, we want to get to 4. Count with me. 1,
1, 2, 3, 4.
so 4, the absolute value is 4. Does that make sense, Lorena?
Yes.
Okay, I want to make sure because we missed you yesterday. All right, now we're going to order these integers in order from greatest to least. Okay, so when we think about it, this is the right side, this is the left side. We read the number line from greatest to least, from right to left. So what's the first integer that's circled, Lorena?
4.
4, good job. So we're going to say the absolute value of 4 as your Lennis demonstrated before. What is the next integer if you move all the way over on the right? That 1/4 is what? Positive or negative?
Negative.
Right, the absolute value of -1/4. Okay, so now the next number would be -1, the absolute value of -1, right, Lorena? That would be the next number. Do you see how we did that, Lorena?
Yes.
Okay, now you're going to give me least to greatest. We're going to reverse the order. We're going to go from left to right. Reverse the order that we just did. Remember, that bracket is absolute value. Go. The absolute value of negative, good.
-1.
The absolute value of negative
1/4.
Good. And the absolute value of
4.
Good job.
+4.
Excellent. Remember to say absolute value, guys, all right? I can't stress that enough because on your work yesterday, for those that submitted it, not everyone picked the correct symbols. You guys were picking less than and greater than symbols, and I'm like, oh my goodness, we never spoke about that one yesterday, from what I remember, because I know that 602 is awesome. That's what I know. All right, 602. All right, next up is, who is that? Who's under Lorena? Let me check. All right, Angie, you're going to be the next contestant. Angie, read me 3A, please. What does it say? Angie? I can't hear you, Angie. Angie?
Now?
Yeah, go ahead, read. What's it say to do?
Okay. 3 roommates were looking at their debits. Miss Wong is in $34 of debit. Miss Canella has $12 of debit. Mr. R has a bank balance of -$83. Who owes the most money? Why?
Who owes the most amount of money and why? Okay, Selena, come over here, Selena. All right, sorry, guys. So think about it, that absolute value is how far a number is from 0 on a number line. So Miss Wong owes $34. I owe $12 because a debt is money we owe. And Mr. R owes negative $83. Who is in the most amount of debt? I mean, who owes the most amount of money? Angie?
Mr. R.
Why?
Because
Is he the closest or farthest from zero?
it's the closest from zero.
He's what?
Yeah, the close. Farther from zero.
Yep. He's the farthest from zero. He owes actually $83. Now, an extension question. Who owes the least debt? Which teacher has the least debt? Wong, 34, Canella, $12, or R, $83? Meaning, which number is closest to zero?
Miss Canella.
Right, me, right? I'm only $12 in the negative. Now, let's look at B. Why is 1.5 on the right of the number line, and why is negative 3.6 on the left of negative 3 on the number line? So clearly, what you need to do in order to answer this question, Brilliant 602, is you need to draw a lovely dandy number line. So I'm going to make a number line, and yes, I'm sorry if my numbers are not equal. 0, 1, but you'll get the idea. 2. I want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, and negative 1, 602. Now, I want to know where would 1.5 be Isaiah? Where do I find 1.5? In between what two integers, sir?
1.5, you said?
Yes. What two numbers does that fall in between?
1 and 2.
Right. 1.5. Now, the next part is, let's answer this part. Why is 1.5 to the right of 1, Isaiah?
Because
Is it greater than or less than?
it's greater than.
Uh-huh. Is greater than 1, right?
Yeah.
Now, let's look at the next part. I'm going to use a different color. I'm going to use blue. Negative 3.6 is to the left of 3, negative 3. So we know that negative 3.6 has to be in between negative 3 and negative 4 because it has the beginning number of negative 3. So now that means that it's a little more than halfway. So that's going to be about negative 3.6 where this blue is, right? Everyone see that? Who's trying to get in now? Oh. Now, let's look at this. If we know that negative 1.5, right? You'd rather have $1.50 versus $1, right? Isaiah, would you rather owe me $3 or would you rather owe me $3.60? What makes sense?
$3.
Right. So now what can you say about negative 3.6? Is it less than or greater than negative 3? Please turn your camera on, Allery.
It is. Wait, can you repeat that?
Sure. So negative 3.6, is that less than or greater than negative 3? And cameras should be on, please. Thank
That
you.
would be less than.
Right. So negative 3, oops, sorry about that. Negative 3.6 is less than negative 3, right? Do we see that? Because it's farthest from 0. It's actually 6/10 more away from than 3. Make sense? Questions before I move on, because now it's going to get tricky. All right, let's see who the next contestant's going to be. The next contestant that's going to answer my question is going to be, I think Alan already had a turn. Daniela looks like she stepped away. Let's go and call on Allery. I'm going to help you out, bud. We want to now organize our numbers from greatest to least. And that means, if you remember from yesterday, when we go from greatest to least, we read the number line from right to left. So, Allery, would you rather owe $4.75 or would you rather owe $9.25? What would you rather do?
$4.
Right. You rather owe $4.75. So negative $4.75. Oops, that should be over here. Sorry about that. And then, wait, oh man, it's not gonna let me delete that. Hold on. I'm gonna have to just redo that. Let me scratch that away. Hold on. Let me try again. All right, sorry about that, guys. All right, so you rather owe that amount of money. So negative 4.75. Oh man. And then negative 9.25. So now the next dilemma is, same person, which number is to the farthest right of 0? Which number is to the right of 0, Allery? And you can ask, yeah, I think you can figure it out. Meaning, which one is closer to 0? Negative 4 or negative 9?
Negative 4.
Yes, negative. So we're going to write on our paper, negative 4.75, which means that obviously the number to the left of it will be negative 9.25. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Yes? All right, because I'm gonna pick and choose some pertinent problems. Guess who the lucky contestant is next? Daniela, you're up. All right, we want to order from greatest to least, Daniela. We have negative 9.8 and negative 8. What's the greater number?
So for going off money, I would rather owe $8 than $9.8.
Excellent. I love how you said that, thinking about money. Okay, which one's to the farthest to the right?
8, negative 8.
Good, and which one's to the farther to the left?
Negative 9.8.
Hey, Alan, you're up next because it looks like you're chilling like a villain there. So let's get you going. Hey, that kind of rhymed, guys. I made some music just now. All right. Hey, Alan, help me out. I got the numbers 3, 0, and 7. I want to do greatest to least, Alan.
The greatest to least, it would be 7 first, then 3, then 0.
Which one's to the farther to the right?
7.
Good. And which one's to the farther to the left, Alan?
3.
Excellent, Alan. Awesome. Okay, Haley, you're going to be next, dear. Ready? Get your cap on. We're going to do the next one, which is going to be here, the very bottom one. That way we can have time for the other problems. Haley, would you rather have $2? Would you rather have 20 cents or would you rather have 4 cents?
20.
20. So now which one is greater? Would you rather owe 4 cents or owe 20 cents, Haley?
I'd rather owe 4 cents because 4 is less and then 20.
Excellent. So now which number is the farthest to the right? 4 cents or 20 cents?
4.
Which means clearly, obviously, the other one has to be negative 0.20, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we good? I know we didn't do every question, but just because of time, because it is already 1:30 and I want to move on to the next part. All right, this is very important. I'm going to be stressing this page for a while. Reason being is because on your work yesterday, you had a question that had something with absolute value of 2 plus the absolute value of 3. So let's start off with Angie. What's the absolute value of negative 42, please?
The absolute value of negative 42 is 42.
Good, it's 42. Okay, let me see who the next contestant is. Who am I going to call? Tatiana, help me out. You're going to do B and C, Tatiana. I'm going to help you through C. What's the absolute value of 78? Tatiana?
78.
You got to speak up, honey. What?
78.
78. Okay, Tatiana, let's look at how we examine this question together. We got the absolute value of 47. We got to first figure out, and I'm going to put a shape around it. I'm going to put a circle. I want to know the absolute value of 47. So this is what we want to know. I want to know the absolute, why is it not working? What is going on with me today? All right, let's try this one last time. Absolute Okay, we want the absolute value of 47. What is that?
47.
Tatiana?
47.
Wait, can you speak a little louder, honey?
47.
Right, maybe turn your volume up. Okay, now we want to find out the absolute value. Now the next part says, what is the absolute value of 72, negative 72? What would that be?
72.
72. Now, do we finish or we have to find the sum, the result?
We have to find the sum.
Right, so 47 plus 72 is how much? Let's figure that out. What's 47 plus 72? 100 what?
119.
I think you said 119. It's just really hard to hear you. Make sure you turn your volume up a little bit. All right, let me see who the next contestant's going to be. The next contestant is going to be Isabella. Hello, Isabella. You're up. I got you. Let's do this together, guys. All right, Isabella. We want to first find the absolute value of 16. What is that?
16.
All right, so that's easy, right?
Yes.
16 plus. Now let's look at what's in the bracket now. I'm going to use a shape. I'm going to use red. All right, we got two things here. We need to find the absolute value of 81. What's that?
81.
Okay, so we're going to make a box here. We're going to write 81 minus, what's the absolute value of 53?
53.
All right, now what is 81 minus 53? Type in the chat box if you know. Let's see who's writing responses while we wait for Isabella to give us what she thinks. I see somebody said 16, 28. Good job. But are we done yet, or we have to add these up now?
Add them up.
Good. So 28 plus 16 is how much now?
For 44.
44. Are we good?
Yes.
Questions, comments, concerns? All right, then we're going to move on. We're going to move on to your exit ticket question. Actually, we have some time to do, well, we don't have to do that. We're going to move on to this independent praxis. All right, Alan, can you tell me the absolute value of 8, please? I need you to tell me the absolute value of 8, Alan.
The absolute value of 8 is 8.
How do you know that, Alan?
Because if you count from 8 to 0, it's 8 units.
I'm sorry about that. Say that again. I'm listening. I'm just going to go on mute for a second. Go ahead.
Because if you count from 8 to 0, that's 8 units.
Okay, so, yep. Good job. Perfect. All right, here we go. Just give me 1 second. I'm going on mute for. All right, yes, you count from 0 to 8. You are 8 units away. So that means, yikes, sorry guys. This is 8. Be quiet. The absolute value of 8 is 8 because look. Sorry. It is 8 units. The absolute value of -1 is what, Alan?
The absolute value of -1 is 1.
Perfect. All right, Alan, you're going to do letter C for me. What is the absolute value of 2, Alan?
The absolute value of 2 is 2.
Okay, perfect. All right, let's do the next one. Isaiah, what's the absolute value of -2 now? I'm going to use green because I feel like it.
2.
Okay, good. What, Isaiah, still you. What's the absolute value of -9?
9.
Good. And what's the absolute value of 7? 7, right?
7, yeah.
All right, remember, if you order from least to greatest, it would be -9, the absolute value of -9. the absolute value of -2, the absolute value of -1, the absolute value of 2, absolute value of 7, and the absolute value of 8. And if you had to go greatest to least, it would be the absolute value of 8, 7, 2, -1, -2, and -9, right? All right, I want to go over the exit ticket with you, which is going to be posted now in Google Classroom, which is already there. So everyone's going to go to their Google Classroom. We have an exit ticket and independent practice. We're going to go over that right now. Here we go. All right, here we go. Let's go to our Google Classroom. And let's go to our exit ticket that was just posted. Here we go. All right. So we're going to go to the exit ticket. I'm going to click on the exit ticket. All right, exit ticket. Cynthia, what is the absolute value of 9, Cynthia? Oh, she can't unmute. Shaylin, what's the absolute value of 9?
9.
Good, so you're going to pick what answer? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
1.
Good, thank you. Haley, Mr. Lucas says that the absolute value of 29 is -29, and Ms. Wong says the absolute value of 52 is 52. Who is correct, and justify your reasoning? So who do you agree with, Mr. Lucas or Ms. Wong? Why?
Miss Wong. Because Miss Wong is the even if it says the value, it's the same. Even if it's the number and you say how many, it's the same value of it.
Good job,
But
because absolute value.
it stays the same.
Perfect, because absolute value is always positive. Good girl. All right, number 3, Tatiana. Determine the absolute value of -7 plus the absolute value of -11.
No, girl named Tatiana, I have a song stuck in my head. It's buzzing down, Tatiana.
Tatiana, the absolute value of -7 is what?
7,
7, and the absolute value of -11 is?
11,
So 7 plus 11 gives me what result?
18,
Which 18? Do I pick the second answer or -18?
the second one.
Yes, so again, for the first one, you should have had 9. You should be doing this now because it should be done. I'm helping you out because I can't attend office hours today. Mr. Lucas' question, the answer was Miss Wong. And the absolute value would be 18. When you're done, hit submit, like so. Hit view score. Yeah, I know I'm being a student today, and I got a 30 out of 30. Everyone get 100? All right, we're going to move on now to the other one, which is the independent practice. In the Google Classroom, there was also a independent practice that was posted. Just, guys, there should be no reason why this is not done. You're the only class that got to do it because you're the last class of the day. So if I go in at 4:15 and find that anyone in this class that did not do the work, I'm going to be really upset. So there's a video here in case people needed help. I'm not going to show it to you because of time, because it will take 2 minutes. But the video will help you. Order these integers from least to greatest, Daniela. What do we do?
So let's look at the number line. Since we're going from least to greatest, the least should be -14, and then -2, and then 0.
Okay. Okay, so it should be this answer, right? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, good, because if you pick that answer, guess what? You are looking pretty good so far. I'm sorry. I'm very hungry. I'm sorry. Okay. But we got to attend to you guys right now because that's the priority. All right. Let's look at question 2. What is the absolute value of 0, Shaylin? Alan, you're going to do number 3. Is it 0 or negative 0, Shay? Shaylin, absolute value of 0. This is an easy one. It's 0, guys. Type that in on your Google form. Alan, 3 teachers were looking at their debts. Miss Wong has $52 in debt. Miss Canella has $31 in debt. And Mr. R has a balance of negative 15, a $21.50. Who owes the most amount of money, Alan?
I
Which
was raising
teacher?
because of a question, because the first question, I thought it was supposed to be negative 14 and negative 2, then 0.
Oh, yes, you're right. My mistake. Thank you for catching that. Thank you, Alan. Yes, you're right. Negative 14, negative 2, and 0. Thank you. Good catch, Alan. So go back to change number 1 to the 4th answer. I made a mistake. I picked the wrong one. Thank you, Alan. All right. So which teacher owes the most amount of debt? Somebody come off mute and tell me. I don't care who you are.
Can you let me it back into the Google form because I accidentally submitted it.
I can't allow you to redo it, though. Once it's done, it's done. But you can go make the corrections. Write it on loose leaf, and I'll give you the higher score, Daniela.
Miss Wong.
Miss Wong. Miss Wong is $52 in debt. If you agree that it's Miss Wong, type Miss Wong in the chat. If you think it's Mr. Lucas, write Mr. Lucas. If you think it's me, put me. And if you think it's Mr. R, put Mr. R's name in the box. Let's see what you guys come up with for number 3. Yes, you may, Cynthia. When class is over, you may. Miss Wong, Wong, Miss Wong, Miss Wong, Miss Wong, Miss Wong, Miss Wong. Oof. Wong, Wong, Wong. Looks like consensus wins. You are correct. Number 4. Arlenis, think about the expression.
I knew it.
See, you got it. Haley, I hope you're doing it now. The absolute value of 4 plus the absolute value of 3. Arlenis, any ideas?
Yeah. So if you do the absolute value of 4, which is 4, and the absolute value of 3, which is 3, 3 plus 4 equals 7, so it equals 7.
Good job. Okay, I'm putting number 5 again because clearly we picked, yesterday people picked I don't know, they picked greater than and less than signs. What is the symbol for absolute value? Haley.
Oh, sorry.
The symbol of is the last one.
Good, that has the number 4, thank you. So you're gonna hit send me copies, you're gonna hit submit, but before you do that, make sure you put the 4th answer for number 1 though. Make sure everyone has that for number 1, you put this answer before you hit submit. Number 2, you should have had 0, right? I just helped you with your work. Number 3, you should have had Miss Wong. Number 4 should have been 7. And numero 5 should be what Haley said, which is the last one. If those are your correct answers, you hit submit, and you should receive a 100. Now, I know that was super quick, but you have one more assignment to do, and I'm going to type in the chat what you have to answer. So before we go, I'm just going to, Albury, I need your face, sir. I need to see your eyes. I only see a head. I don't see your eyes. There you go. Try to put your face more in the screen. I'm taking a snapshot, sending it to Mr. Blau, who is present. Haley, I need to see you, Haley. Okay, awesome. All right, you have one more assignment. So because I was not able to attend, be able to be present in office hours because I have a meeting at 2, 1 at 3, 1 at 4, I kind of helped you now, okay? Because during office hours, I was going to go over the exit ticket and independent practice anyway. So you kind of got that now. So before you leave, you need to tell me, what did you learn today? And then how do you rate this class on a scale of 1 to 10 and why? I need sentences. Who's going to be the first contestant to leave? What did you learn today? Or if you say you didn't learn anything, what did you learn to improve on? Okay, or maybe there's something that you were unclear of yesterday that now you know today better. Okay, let's see what you got. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 26, 35.
I wrote the correct answer on the loose leaf.
Okay, you're gonna screenshot it, and I need you to send me a picture of it.
How am I supposed to screenshot it?
Take a picture on your. How am I gonna be able to see it if I'm not at your house, sweetie? Oh, for that question, you mean, Daniela?
Yes.
Okay, I got you. As soon as I get my what did you learn and how you rate the class on 1 to 10, I'll read it out loud and you're free to go until mañana, tomorrow. I rate this class a 10 out of 10 because I learned how to do absolute value of different numbers. Thank you, Angie. Cynthia, I learned about absolute value on a number line and I give today a 9 out of 10 because I was unable. Aw, okay. Thanks for your honesty. Alan, what we learned today is different symbols for greater than and least than and so we learned the symbols for greater than and less and least than, greater than and less than. I'm confused. Can you maybe go back and fix that up? I think I know what you're saying, but I want you to fix it up for me. So Cynthia, you're gonna stay back because you want to talk to me about something. But Angie, you're free to go. Thank you. Do your I ready. All you guys have to do is I ready, okay? So go do 30 minutes now. It's 1:45 if you're done. Daniela, I improved on my leadest to grace for ratings. I give it a 10 out of 10. Okay, I did mine. I don't know. You mean your I ready, Haley? Oh, I did mine. Read the top. I learned that the number line has many different weird numbers. I rate this class a 10 out of 10 because it helped me. How did it help you? Tell me how it helped you, then you're free to go.
It helped me because I never knew about absolute value, and now I'm really good at it. I never knew that I was going to be good at it.
I'm so proud to hear that. I need you to do I ready, and you're free to go now. Do me 30 minutes. If you didn't do it yesterday, you owe me an hour, 60 minutes.
Okay.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
You're welcome. Bye. Albury. I give a 10 out of 10 because I used a chart. Okay, that works, Allery. Usted, necesito un account de la programa de already. Mr. Guzman. Lorena, what I learned today was the value of the number line, and I gave this class a 10 out of 10. You mean absolute value, Lorena? Lorena?
Yes.
Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Lorena, I need you to give me an hour of I ready, okay? Right now.
Okay.
Get to work. I'll see you tomorrow for office hours. Arlenis, I learned to write the absolute value of a number from least to greatest and greatest to least. I rate this class a 10 out of 10 because I learned to do more things and now I can identify and say an absolute value correctly. Thank you, Arlenis. I love your honesty. Go do I ready. And we learned how to do value, absolute value from least to greatest and greatest to least. I give this class a 10 out of 10. And I know that 2 students did send me a Google chat. I didn't forget about you. So Tatiana and I think Arlenis, thank you for asking how my day was. I hope yours goes fabulous as well. I didn't forget. I was just busy, all right? Bye. Shaylin, I learned how to do absolute value on a number line, and I give this class a 10 out of 10. Okay?
Excuse me.
Yes.
Do I have to do the I ready?
Yes, you do have to do I ready. You need to do 30 minutes today, and if you didn't do it yesterday, Allery, right? I need 30 minutes from yesterday. I need 1 hour from you. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Mañana a la clase de matemática a las 11 again, okay? Okay. Isabella, today I improved on absolute value on a number line. I give this class a 10 out of 10 because today was very helpful and I improved more. Oh, I'm so happy to hear. Isabella, go do I ready. Shaylin, you're free to go. You got to go do I ready. Tomorrow, I'll see you guys. And advisory. If I'm your advisor, I'll see you then. All right? All right.
Miss Canella, I still don't know who my advisor is.
You still don't know? Okay. Send me an email and I'll get that info for you. I'll get back to you at some point today once I'm all done with my meetings in the evening. Okay, dear?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime. All right. Tatiana, today I improved how to list greatest integer to least and absolute value. I rate this class a 10 out of 10. Thank you for the review. My pleasure. Anytime. Go do my I ready now, and I'll see you tomorrow for advisory at 12:15.